I want to share something fascinating with you today. Something that comes straight from psychology and the hidden world of human attraction. Most men assume that when a woman greets you, it's just a polite hello. Nothing more, nothing less. But here's the truth: greetings are never neutral. They're loaded with signals, especially when intimacy hasn't happened yet. And here's the kicker: sometimes the way she says hello tells you more about her hidden attraction than anything else. Today, we're breaking down 6 powerful greeting patterns women display when they haven't been intimate with a man yet, and trust me, the last one might completely flip how you see female psychology. So if you think, just a handshake is only a handshake, well, buckle up. Because psychology says otherwise. Before we dive in, if you're new here, you've just stepped into a space where we uncover the psychology of attraction and female behavior that most men overlook. So do yourself a favor, tap that like button right now, drop a comment with your thoughts, and hit subscribe so you never miss what's coming. Alright, let's dive in. 6 greeting signals. 6 insights. And remember, the last one is a game changer. Sign 1, the overpolite greeting. When a woman greets you with extra politeness, perfect posture, a polished smile, and that textbook, "Hi, how are you?" most men assume she's simply being distant or formal. But psychology suggests otherwise. What's really happening here is something called emotional displacement. She feels an undercurrent of attraction, but because intimacy hasn't taken place yet, she needs to manage the tension. And the easiest mask she can wear is courtesy. By putting on a professional, or polite, front, she hides the nervous energy that might otherwise reveal her feelings. Think about it like armor. Politeness isn't just manners, it's protection. If she were indifferent, she wouldn't bother with this extra effort. Instead, her hyper-awareness of how she's coming across is actually proof that she's attuned to you. Here's a relatable example. Imagine bumping into her at the coffee shop. Instead of a casual wave, she straightens her hair, adjusts her voice, and greets you as if she's at a job interview. That's not indifference. It's a signal that she's trying hard not to reveal her attraction. In other words, what looks like distance often hides the strongest pull. Sign 2, the over-casual hello. At first glance, a woman who greets you like an old buddy might seem totally relaxed, maybe a drawn-out, "Hey," a playful tap on the shoulder, or even teasing you the moment she sees you. Most men interpret this as friendliness, nothing more. But psychology tells a different story. When intimacy hasn't yet happened, some women lean into over-casual energy as a mask. It's a strategy called normalization. By acting as though the interaction is easy and familiar, she's covering up the tension she feels. In other words, she's trying to downplay her attraction by making it seem like no big deal. The irony? If she truly felt nothing, she wouldn't bother performing closeness. Real indifference is bland, not animated. But the fake buddy act? That's loaded with subconscious meaning. Imagine her greeting you with a grin, tossing in a "What's up, stranger?" in a playful tone. On the surface it feels like friendship. But underneath, it's her way of testing boundaries while disguising the pull she feels toward you. So if a woman greets you too casually, don't assume you're stuck in the friend zone. Sometimes it's her clever way of keeping desire under wraps. Sign 3, the accidental touch. One of the strongest greeting signals comes through the body, not words. When she says hello and her hand lingers on your arm, her shoulder brushes against yours, or she steps a little closer than necessary, most men chalk it up as coincidence. But psychology shows us these micro-touches are rarely accidental. Human attraction often leaks through body language before it shows up in conversation. These subtle touches are part of what psychologists call kinesthetic communication, a nonverbal way of testing comfort and gauging closeness. Think of it this way: touch is riskier than words. A hi can be denied, but a brush of her hand carries undeniable intimacy. If she wasn't at least curious about the connection, she'd avoid contact altogether. Here's an example. She leans in to hug hello, but her hand stays on your shoulder a second longer than necessary. Or while passing by, her fingers graze your wrist as she laughs. These aren't random flukes. They're subconscious bids for connection. So the next time you notice accidental contact during a greeting, don't dismiss it. Often, it's her body revealing attraction before her mind is ready to admit it. Sign 4, the stumble or hesitation. Sometimes the most telling greeting is the one that doesn't come out smoothly. She might pause mid-step, stutter over a simple "hello?" or even laugh nervously before getting the words out. To the untrained eye, it looks like clumsiness. But in psychology, this is a classic display of nervous arousal. When attraction is strong but intimacy hasn't yet occurred, her body goes into a mini-freeze response. This is a survival mechanism rooted in biology. Her nervous system literally stalls because it's overwhelmed by heightened emotion. The greeting misfires not because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much. Picture this: you walk into the room, she notices you, and suddenly her confident, chatty persona glitches. She fumbles her words, then tries to cover it with a laugh. That stumble is not weakness, it's evidence of hidden tension and desire. Men often mistake this for shyness or disinterest. But here's the secret. If she were indifferent, her greeting would flow effortlessly. Indifference is smooth. Attraction, on the other hand, creates friction. So the next time a woman hesitates or buffers in her hello, see it for what it really is, a nervous spark of interest she can't fully hide. Sign 5, the high-energy greeting. At the other end of the spectrum, you'll find the woman who greets you with undeniable energy. Her eyes light up, her smile spreads wide, and her voice lifts into a bright, almost exaggerated "Oh, hi." At first, you might think she's just a naturally bubbly person. But often, this surge of enthusiasm is a psychological tell. It's known as emotional flooding. When attraction builds up beneath the surface without release, the energy spills out in a greeting that feels larger than life. It's her nervous system releasing all the pent-up anticipation at the very moment she sees you. Think about it. When someone is neutral, their hello is casual, even flat. But when a woman consistently greets you with amplified warmth, there's a reason her body is overcompensating. Here's an example. You enter a group setting and she singles you out with that extra sparkle. Her tone changes, her volume rises, and her body literally leans toward you before anyone else. That too much energy isn't random friendliness, it's the subconscious overflow of attraction. So don't brush it off as coincidence. High-energy greetings are often coded confessions, revealing far more than words alone. Sign 6, the avoidant greeting. This is the one that throws most men off. A woman sees you, and instead of lighting up, she barely acknowledges you. Maybe she mumbles a quick "hey," keeps her eyes down, or avoids greeting you altogether. Instinctively, most men think, she's not interested. But in psychology, avoidance often signals the exact opposite. What you're witnessing is called protective distance. When attraction feels intense but intimacy hasn't yet happened, she may fear losing control of her emotions. By creating distance, physically and verbally, she shields herself from vulnerability. It's not that she doesn't feel the pull. It's that she feels it so strongly she has to shut it down. Imagine this: she greets everyone else warmly but suddenly turns cool when it's your turn. To an outsider, it looks like indifference. But in reality, that cold greeting is her armor. If she let her natural response slip, it might reveal just how much you affect her. Here's the paradox. Real disinterest doesn't need defense mechanisms. But when she works hard to keep her composure around you, that effort itself is proof of something deeper. So don't be fooled by avoidance. Sometimes the coldest hello hides the hottest attraction. So there you have it, 6 greeting patterns women use when attraction is in play, but intimacy hasn't happened yet. Remember, greetings are not small talk. They're micro-confessions of desire. Now, if you found this eye-opening, the real next step is even bigger. Because greetings are just the start. Once intimacy is on the horizon, women shift into a whole new set of behaviors. And many of them speak in lies that actually mean the opposite. And I've already broken those down in detail in another video. 13 lies your woman says that mean the opposite, the truth you must know. So don't stop here. Click the end screen right now, because the truth in that video will change the way you understand female psychology forever.